We are back.
And so is Game of Thrones. We watched the first episode, House of the Dragon. Unbelievable.
Like, boof.
Like, wow. You know, going into this, the last season of Game of Thrones, the original series, we were kind of disappointed the way it ended.
The last 2 episodes were like, the last episode was the most disappointing, but
right.
You
So
know.
that kind of lowered my expectations
Yes.
for this show.
Yes.
And on top of that, sequels are never as good as the original. For me,
Right.
it's not a movie, but it's kind of a sequel in the sense that it's a spin-off almost
Right.
of the original.
Right.
So I'm thinking, how good can this show be? Is it going to be even comparable to the original Game of Thrones? And just off of that first episode, guys, wow, my mind was blown. This show is very promising. I gotta tell you, Linda, before I go on, what are your thoughts?
I mean,
Hold on, sorry.
Yeah.
No spoilers right now. No
no
spoilers.
spoilers. Okay,
No
no
spoilers.
spoilers. Okay, because I almost said it. Good thing you said that. I like you said, my expectations were not high at all because I was like, we'll see. We'll see what
Mhm.
happens. Like, but whoa, I was wrong. Like, I feel like this first episode shook me and it made me really like I couldn't even watch at some point more than the first episode of Game of Thrones of the first season. You know, like
wow.
feel like it was a very slow kind of start for me to
Yeah.
get into it. The
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. This I'm like in it. Like I can't wait to see the next episode. I can't wait to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible. Like everything is so good. The acting is so good. So good.
It's so funny you say that because it's like you almost read my mind. The original series, I love, almost all the seasons. The first season, the first couple of episodes in the first season were a little bit slow for me.
Very slow.
I remember that being, I remember the first episode of Game of Thrones, I was like, I'm not sure how much I'm going to like this show.
Mm-hmm.
But, it just got better and better and better and better. And then it became, for me, one of the best shows of all time
Right.
on TV. Arguably the best show on TV of all time. Guys, leave me a comment, by the way. Is Game of Thrones the best show on TV of all time? For me, it's the most epic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good shows. Breaking Bad, amazing. But for me, it's the most epic, right? But this season, this new season, right off the bat, that first episode just grabbed me.
Yeah.
It grabbed me.
Totally. And I feel like the writing of it,
Mhm.
even though the dialect sometimes it's hard to like catch to it,
Mhm.
the way they talk and just the whole different way that, the dialect basically sometimes. But I feel like
The accent.
the accent, right? But it's just like the writing is incredible and how they are really explaining the characters. And I already can see the connection to the characters of Game of Thrones, even though it's centuries before. But you can literally like see it, like, oh man, this has to be connected with it. Like this has to be like family, with the Mad King and all that. You know what I mean? I don't know. There has to be all that connection there.
I totally agree. And and like watching the trailer before we watched the first episode, I was thinking maybe they're gonna focus more on the dragons. Maybe it's just gonna be like more fantasy. Are the characters? Because that was the main thing about the original series. The characters were so good.
Yeah.
The characters were so interesting and well written and so different from each other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that was my one thing is, would I care? Would I even care about these new characters?
Yes, you're right about that.
And this first episode is just like, boom.
Boom.
This is the setup. This is what this family is like. This is the conflict, the drama.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of gives you an inclination, an idea of the potential drama that's going to unfold in the rest of the series. And it just leaves you at the end of this, like the episode, like, I want to know what happens.
Yeah. And it has that same kind of concept of terms of like, who is the next, to be the king or the queen, and the throne. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Which that's what it makes this this show so interesting, you know, all
Totally
this
agree.
craziness that happened just because everybody wants to be the king or the queen, you know.
Yep.
But definitely the dragons look amazing, and I can't wait to see more of that action, like flying the dragons and all that stuff, you know.
Yep. So we're gonna keep this spoiler free.
Yeah.
Actually,
Okay.
guys, leave us a comment if you want us to do a spoiler review of that first episode. Let us know, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, because I have a lot to talk about.
I got a lot to say. I'm biting my tongue right now. There were some scenes in this episode
Whew.
that were like so intense that I could barely watch, and in some ways more intense than anything I've remember from the original series.
I mean, yeah, for first
For
episode,
the first
for
episode,
first like,
wow,
whoa, like
Wow.
okay,
I
they're
was
not
like-
playing around.
Game of Thrones is back. Game of Thrones is back. For real, 100%.
Anyways,
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm excited. Are you guys excited? Game of Thrones is back.
yes,
You know,
I can't wait for every Sunday now.
I can't wait. Do you remember the original series? We were so hooked on that show. I was so hooked on that show. I could not wait for another.
Like no plans on Sunday, nothing.
Cancel plans. We watching Game of Thrones.
House of Dragon.
House of the Dragon. Yeah, no. But back in the day,
Oh, back in the day.
we
Okay.
used to be like, we're not going out. We're not going to a restaurant. We're not doing anything. Game of Thrones.
Oh man.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Subscribe. Hope you
And
guys are
press the
doing
like.
great. You guys are the best. I love the comments.
Yeah.
I guess,
Thank
I
you
guess
guys
some
for all the comments.
You guys are the
Definitely.
best. You guys are the best. See you guys later. Peace.
Bye.